Hi there, I'm Isabel Barter of Stronger Human, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how to get started with squats if knee pain or range of motion is really challenging for you. And all you need for this exercise is a chair. So to be able to have a nice deep squat with our heels staying down, one of the skills we need to build is being able to bring our knees forward over our toes. And for a lot of us, that is not easy. So come onto your chair here. And what we'll start with is using the chair as a way to build some additional strength from just a position called a sit to stand. So sit to stand is a squat, right? It's achieving a lot of the same things. We're just giving ourselves a target to have a little break and somewhere to know where we're going, especially if we feel like we're gonna fall over. So in terms of our leg position, if you're seated on the edge of your chair, take your feet a little bit wide apart and feel free to turn them out ever so slightly to where your legs are comfortable. Now you may be more comfortable in parallel, that's fine, or many of us are just a little bit more comfortable when we turn out slightly. Next thing I want you to do is reach your arms forward so that your shoulders move forward ever so slightly. When we have our arms out in front of us, all we do now is root down through the feet and stand up powerfully. Your arms can come in as you stand. Then to get back down, we're trying to aim for that seat without just plopping onto it. So shoot the arms out in front of you and have a quiet seat down. So for many of us, we're gonna find like, ooh, that's a little too low. So you might grab a yoga block, a big thick book, and put that on your chair as an additional thing to be able to get down to and then come back up. What I love about this is that if you look at what's happening in the knees are gliding forward as we sit, the knees are gliding forward as we stand up. So if you've had a lot of knee challenges, this is a really accessible way to get started. So if you want to follow along, let's start with 5 of these, and then I'm going to show you a couple of progressions that you can do to get even stronger in this movement. So setting up comfortably, allow your body to slightly hinge forward as you reach forward and stand up, keeping your heels connected. Bring the hips all the way forward. Arms can shoot out to be a counterbalance as you bend through the knees to have a seat, trying not to just plop and crash down into the chair. Reach forward to stand up, and let's sink the hips back to come down. As you're doing this, can you keep your knees over your middle toes, trying not to allow the knees to collapse in or to go way out bandy to the side? That's about 3. Let's do 2 more. Reaching forward to stand up, reaching forward to sit down, and let's do 1 more. Reach to stand, reach to have a seat. Excellent. So if that was not too bad of a challenge and you want to add a little bit more to it, you can grab any kind of weight. It could be a kettlebell, it could be a dumbbell. I'm going to show you how to do this with a dumbbell. So any amount of resistance that you feel comfortable with. There's a few different ways of holding your dumbbell that can make things, you have to decide what works for you, your preference. So we can always hold a dumbbell sideways by the ends of it. We can also hold it in a little goblet position where the heels of our hands cup around and we make this little chalice shape. I like this shape, but I also like this one. So whatever allows you to use the weight as a counterbalance, however you're holding it, that's comfortable for you. Both of these strategies are totally fine and acceptable. So if you want to grab a weight, let's go through 5 more of these. You can play with how you hold it and see what works for you. So I'm going to hold mine in the goblet or chalice position. It looks like a chalice. Okay, ready? Set the feet. Hip distance, they're comfortable. Knees are trying to track over middle toes. A little bit of a body hinge forward. Press down through the feet to stand up. That's 1. Sit down quietly. And 2. Weight can move away from you to help counterbalance you so if you don't feel like you're falling backwards. 3. Have a seat. 4. And down. And 1 more. 5. And down. Awesome. You can set the dumbbell back on the floor and give yourself a little break. So if that was really simple for you also, the next progression you can try that starts to help get our knees more comfortable at gliding over our toes is a split stance version. So with a split stance version of our sit to stand squat means what we're going to do is, instead of having our legs side by side with each other, we're going to bring one heel closer to the chair and one heel a little bit farther away. And you're in control of what that heel position is. If it's really tight in your ankle, in your knee, in your hip, it might just be a tiny little offset. And what you'll see is as we go forward, it's gliding that knee a little bit more over the toes compared to the other side. And that is just enough to start to invite the brain and the body to think that it's safe to do this. At the same time, you're building strength through the ligaments, through the muscles in this area, so that you can actually get better at this and eventually do it without the chair. So let's try 5 split stance, maybe it's even 3 if you're not sure, you're not convinced yet. So a little bit more of a narrow setup, we're not as wide, we're narrow. Slide one heel back slightly, I'll show it from the side so you can see. Shoot your hands forward, keep the knee tracking over middle toes. Try not to let the knee collapse in or roll out. For 1, 3 to 5, you choose when you want to stop. 2, here we go, 3, allowing the arms to help you with that counterbalance. 4, and one more, here's 5. Awesome, let's do the other side. So we're taking one foot closer to you, one foot farther away. You decide how steep that incline is. And a good way to know is if you go pull the heel back, can you actually keep your knee over the middle toes? If it starts to already go like this, that might be too far back for you right now. So just don't bring it that far back. A little stagger can go a long way. Okay, arms can reach forward. We come up for 1, counterbalance, have a seat. Come up 2, trying to keep those knees tracking middle toes. 3, standing all the way tall at the top. 4, and one more. 5. I hope you found those exercises helpful in getting you started or restarted with confidence in squatting. If you have more questions about the exercises that we did or want to work with me in a group setting or one-on-one, check out my information at strongerhuman.com. I'll see you next time.